This problem is from the Practice and Skills workbook. It's page 117, problem number 2. Find the slope and the unit rate. Slope is equal to and unit rate is equal to. Okay, so in this particular problem they've given us this table. They tell us that in the time, in hours, so for 5 hours we travel a distance of 6 miles. And then for 10 hours we travel 12. And then it continues on. Just to get us an idea of what that looks like, let's just make a quick little sketch. So I'm going to make an XY coordinate grid, a little sketch of what's really happening here. And in this problem, this time is going to be our X, and this is going to be our Y right here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put X and Y because we're kind of used to writing them that way. And for our X values, we're going to go ahead and let's number off by 5s just to get an idea. So 5, 10, 15, 20. All I'm trying to do is just get an idea of what the problem's talking about. Now for distances, I can go ahead, I need to go upward. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, I think in this direction I'm going to go by 10. So 10, 20, and then my next one would be 30. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to plot it. So my first one is 5, 6, so it would be 5 over and then 6 up. So I'm going to kind of estimate that a little bit. It's going to be about right there. My next one's going to be 10, 12, which will be about right here. Next one's going to be 18. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be 15 up to 18. So it's going to be about right here. And then my next one's going to be 24, 20. So it's going to be about right here. And just get an estimation. Okay, that should be a straight line, but it gives us kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we have a bunch of points that are already in the line that we already have. Like for example, we have this point and the second point. So let's use those 2 points. And what we're going to do is we could use a slope triangle and go ahead and do it that way. Okay, and that will work out real nicely. Okay, or we could use our formula, the y2 minus y1 over the x2 minus x1. So it's kind of our choice. Let's go ahead, because it's kind of hard to tell by my graph here exactly where these points are. Let's rewrite this problem right here as ordered pairs. So our first one would be 5, 6. I think it's going to be a little easier to see if we do it this way. And our second one looks like it's going to be 10, 12. So 10, 12. So we're using these 2 points. We could use a slope triangle, but since we don't have the grid marks, let's just go off the ordered pairs that we already know. I'm going to mark it X and Y, X and Y. Okay, this is our first ordered pair, and this is our second ordered pair. I'm going to go over to where it says slope, and I'm going to write down my formula, y2 minus y1. So formula you should have memorized by now. x2 minus x1. I'm going to take my y2, which is 12. I'm going to take my y1, which is 6. x2 looks like it's going to be 10. x1 looks like it's going to be 5. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay, and we end up with a slope that looks like this. So we get a slope of 6/5. Okay, now the second question that they ask us is to come up with the unit rate. Okay, so we know that the unit rate is the same thing as the slope. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to write down that 6/5. And remember that 6/5 is 6/5 of a mile per 1 hour. So if you went ahead and you traveled for 1 hour, you would cover 6/5 of a mile. And that would end up being the unit rate for that particular problem.